Boris Johnson is increasingly looking like a dead man walking. Let's go through all of the reasons why different disasters are coming together for him right now and what that means for his future. So, firstly, in terms of the data around polling, um, you have his personal favorability ratings, which are tanking. So they were found to be by YouGov 24% favorable for him now and 66% unfavorable. That's his worst statistics, and it bodes badly for him because you can win an election on 35% favorability, 40% favorability, because that's all you need to get in that range in order to carry your party through. But when you're really tanking like he is at the moment, that's going to drag on your party. And it is, because there was a poll out yesterday by Focal Data giving Labour an 8-point lead. And I said, if there are any more polls like that coming through, then that's absolutely going to alarm the Tory party and send them into something of a panic. And then today, YouGov comes through again with an 8-point lead for Labour. So that has turned around really fast, and that's going to alarm them all. So, what does Boris Johnson have to reassure people with? Well, let's look at his signature policies. His COVID policy, where he was doing, really well at the beginning of this year with the vaccine rollout, has been banging on about that. That's just now been blown up because people are now thinking about, when they think about his COVID strategy, the complete hypocrisy of all these parties happening while everyone else was trying to obey the rules. And also, more people are aware that we are now a middling European country in terms of how well our vaccine rollouts are going. Then there's also Brexit. A recent poll showed that 18% of people thought it was going well and 52% thought it was going badly. Levelling up, people aren't seeing that. But let's get back to the Brexit one, because that has knock-ons to different communities. An important one being farming and farmers. They, at the moment, are absolutely livid about what Brexit has done to their communities, but also, importantly, the trade deal threats from New Zealand, from Australia, from the US. They're apoplectic about that at the moment, as well as other changes that have come in on the back of Brexit. And that knocks on to North Shropshire, which cares a lot about the state of the farming community and food supply and quality of food. That is a big factor in that by-election that is coming up next week. And it looks like the combination of that and all the Christmas party stuff has just put the Lib Dems ahead at the moment in terms of the bookies' favourite. So if that happens next week, that is going to be a killer blow for Boris Johnson, because it will also remind people of why there was a by-election, the Patterson affair and all the corruption associated with that. But that's not the only thing he's facing next week, because he also is trying to get these new COVID measures through, the Plan B measures through, which he threw on the table as quickly as he could in order to change the news headlines when all of the party stuff, the Christmas party stuff, was doing him in. Anyway, that's coming up for a vote this week, and we already have at least 60 Tories now rebelling on it. And the Conservative Party have been increasingly rebelling on him in Parliament, and so he's losing more and more control of the Conservative Party. There have been rebellions before, but this one looks to be huge. And because Boris Johnson has marched his ministers and his MPs up the hill so many times for policies that they took the stick for before he U-turned, the loyalty just isn't there in the party, and a lot of them are starting to speak out openly about his character, about how he's lost the dressing room, about it's time for him to go. More and more and more of that is coming through. But it's not just his party. He's now lost control of his media backing as well, because with this Christmas party, he fobbed off all the media. He and his director of comms fobbed off all the media with "there was no party," when literally all of the papers and all of the broadcast media have details of who was there and how it went down. They've all got the inside track. Even the BBC are saying there was a party, because everybody knows that there was a party. And the fact that his director of comms was there handing out awards for people at this party means that no one now in the media is going to listen to what Boris Johnson has to say. They know he's a liar. People are using that word openly. But also his director of comms has got no credibility either. And to get himself on the hook, off the hook, he threw Allegra Stratton under the bus, saying that he was sickened by what he saw with her behaviour. Took no blame himself, but said it's all about her behaviour and he was sickened. Well, she is the wife of the political editor of The Spectator, so they're probably not happy with them in the moment. And you've got the Daily Mail, who are going for Boris Johnson. You've also had Harry Cole of The Sun, used to be super loyal, going for Boris Johnson over COVID restriction measures, and even the Telegraph now going for him. So he has no base, real robust base anymore within the Conservative Party, where he actually doesn't have many friends. It was very much a commercial, shall we say, a relationship of pragmatism. And also within the media, those that used to back him now are not. But finally, and this is the thing that is starting to really kill it off for him, is that Liz Truss is on manoeuvres. And she has just done an interview with Nick Robinson of the BBC, which was about, where she's come from, what her ambitions are, her love of liberty, because that's the name of her daughter, etc., etc. She has probably realized that if she wants to get into number 10 and then have a decent chance for an election in 2024, the public have got to start getting to know her now. They know Rishi because he's the Chancellor and she's popular within the Conservative Party, so needs to come forward probably about now. And that's going to push other people to come forward, and it's going to get all the media conversation already turning to who, when, and how, which is what the Conservative Party will be talking about as well internally, which means when the conversation shifts beyond you and goes to that, then you are a lame duck and you are a dead man walking. And given the bad news that is going to come out over the next, week, with votes in parliaments, with North Shropshire, and then other things that may now emerge in order to accelerate the process, Boris Johnson is a dead duck and he is a dead man walking. That's really strongly how it's looking at the moment. And I think that it's about time, and I look forward to a deserving legacy for this man who is absolutely embarrassing our nation at the moment. Remember that all the other countries looking on, looking at our scandals, that is what is characterizing our country at the moment. And every Brit should be fuming about that. This man is humiliating our country. Get him out. Thank you.